And this frees me up to use my hands because I'm able to move the cursor with the power of my mind. Greetings, and this is Matt Hartley for Freedom Penguin, and today we're going to be looking at a program that is designed for accessibility. The name of the program is actually called eViacam, or I guess Enable Viacam, depending on how you look at it. And another thing you might notice about this is that I'm actually moving the cursor with my face. Weird, right? So what's neat about that is that I'm able to basically calibrate this using head movements. And I'll actually show you in instructions in an article that I'll include with this on how you do that. Once it's been calibrated, you can in fact do some pretty cool stuff, including bring up your on-screen keyboard if you have it set to do so, which I do not. Right now, I don't have that set up, so I've done this manually. You can actually set it up by command to do that with your face if you wanted to, and that's cool, but that's not what we're looking to do. Right now, I'm actually looking at doing this with mouse movement, and that's why you see this highlighted right there. The click window versus the on-screen keyboard. You can actually toggle between the two. And honestly, I would recommend doing that because you can really mess things up. You'll also notice that we have this little play button here. Right now it's enabled, so that means it's going to be consistently left-clicking every time I move my head. All right. I'm going to pause that so it doesn't do anything strange on me here. There we go. That way I can think and I don't end up making, accidentally clicking an ad or doing something else weird. So we're going to try a couple things. We're going to use eViacam to navigate websites, create files, and basically navigate around my Ubuntu Mate menu to kind of see what that looks like and how difficult this would actually be, or how nice it is to have this as an option. Personally, I think the idea of this is really cool, and I'm really hoping I can give this a great review because it's free. It's FOSS, and that's awesome. And of course, you can't wear a hat with it because the calibration does not like hats. And you really got to be mindful of where you calibrate this at because, man, it's all over the map. You can see the facial detections kind of, it notices where my eyes and my nose are, and that seems to be kind of the go-to thing. So, yeah. Okay. If you can move your whole... Now, this is interesting and worth noting. This is stupid easier if you're able to move your whole body. Like, if I can do this... Oh, man. So, like, if I'm just unable to use my arms, but I can use my upper body, this just becomes a ton easier. So I want to definitely point that out. I also want to make sure that this is set to always on top so that it doesn't disappear on me. All right, so let's get started using this thing. And I'm going to cheat for the... I'm going to do two different things. I'm going to try the whole upper body movement thing, and then I'm going to try just using my head, just to get an idea how difficult this would be to use for somebody. So let's start off by enabling it. And right now I'm going to use my entire upper body to get as much mobility as possible. I'm going to bring that over and enable it. Okay. So my hands are up here the whole time, and whoops, don't want to do that. Hang on. See, we have a constant left click going on, so I have to be mindful of that unless I pause that. Now, I want to use Google and browse to my website. So I'm going to come up here and start a new tab. All right. I'm going to use Google's voice function to do this just because it's easier. freedompenguin.com. All right. I'm going to pause this now. Whoa, I've lost my pause button. That's one of the things I want to point out with this program in that it looks like, yeah, it's locked up again. This has happened to me a couple times, and it's something that I think it's worth scripting to deal with this because now if I depend on this program, I'm completely boned. Oh, I can move the cursor around, and that's awesome, but, you know... And I don't know if that's because I have too many webcams in the same USB bus or what's going on. I don't know exactly where the breakdown is. Maybe it's because I'm recording this with OBS. That's a possibility. But either way, that's a problem. So now I have to use my hands to... oh, here we go. Are we back? No. Kind of. Maybe. Not really. Yeah, see, it shows it as being active, but that is not true. So we're going to end you. And now I got to use my hands again. Kind of kills the purpose. All right. Unfortunate, but that's life, right? All right. Enable. And, of course, I've lost my camera. Well, it still works, but it's because I have it set to, let's pop back into here. I have it set to not always be on top. There we go. All right, so I've got freedompenguin.com. Now I'm going to go to matthartley.com. matthartley.com. All right, I'm going to pause this. That doesn't do anything weird on me. There we go. Okay, so I'm able to get around and do stuff that so I can utilize the internet at some basic inherent level. That's cool. And keeping in mind, I'm doing it with my entire upper body. Now I'm going to try using the internet with nothing but my, if I get this cord out of my way, nothing but my neck and my head. So I basically, this is the extent of my mobility, and hopefully my calibration isn't so fried. There we go. I think we're okay. So I'm going to try this. See if I can, man, this is tough. All right, here we go. Yeah, I did not calibrate it for this at all, clearly. All right. All right, so now we're going to go to freedompenguin.com. All right. And I'm going to browse to some articles. All right. And I'm going to close that before I click something on accident. Close. Whoops. Close. Man, this is hard. This is beyond difficult. So it's literally easier for me to go close tab and pause. Okay, so that's what it's like to browse a web page by just utilizing my neck muscles in my head. And I almost cheated a couple times and actually ended up moving my entire body. The calibration on this definitely, I can't stress enough, the closer you are to your webcam, the more control you have. Well, let me verify that here. Yeah. Of course, not getting your cord caught and everything also kind of helps. There we go. So I'm going to just hold my arms like this. And let's see what that looks like. The closer I get, it's not bad. I mean, like I said, it definitely, you just get a lot more flexibility if you're able to move your whole body. But okay, so we're going to do the whole head holding thing, and we're going to create some files. So let's go right click with our thing here. Let's create a text file. Create document. Okay. And let's give it a name. So let's go, we'll call it stuff. Oh, wow, yeah, that feels great. Oh my goodness. And this is not a reflection of the software so much as it is what it must be like to be limited in this way, because imagine this is it. This is how you use your computer. Okay, so I'm going to pause that now so I don't have any issues. Okay, cool. So we're paused. So I've created a file. Now I need to open up the file so that I can type into it. In a future software review for accessibility, I actually want to look at different programs we can use to for voice dictation. And of course, Google has theirs, but there's actually a few different ways of doing this. But we're going to be basically using an on-screen keyboard just to get some text in there, just to show you what that's like. So let's re-enable this. And we're going to need to double click, and we'll double click the file. There we go. All right. And now I'm going to do some text, get in the box. There we go. And we're going to go to, let's type out difficult, D, I, man, this is rough. Oh, boy. You really want to stretch before you do this. So I'm just going to stop there. Okay, so we've got... you really... See, this is that problem I was talking about. See how I'm moving my body? I'm not realizing that. And so it's very entirely possible this is actually easier for someone that can't move their body as much as I can move mine, because I think the calibration gets off kilt. But I've created a file. I've entered text. Let's save it. Boy, here we go. All right. All right, and now we're going to save the file, and we're going to close the file. Okay. Pop out of that. All right, and we'll pause one more time. So For eViacam, where do I see the strengths of this program? I think the strengths of this are really definitely there as far as cursor control. I can definitely see the value of this. I think someone that is been paralyzed maybe from boy, I would say, arms aren't working, but maybe you still got some upper body back movement. That's going to be pretty strong. Maybe that's a detriment. Maybe you're better off with just your head movement, but it definitely, you have to kind of recenter your face a lot. And I don't know if that's lighting or if that's just my head positioning. It could just be my head. It could be because I'm leaning back. I'm not actually controlling anything right now. I'm just getting an idea for mouse movement. It's difficult. I mean, even scrolling a website is, in fact, a bit of a challenge. So let's look at the features. Oops, let's go up a touch. Oh, let's hide that window so we can see. Okay, and we'll pause. So if I want to see the features, okay, so that's how I would scroll a website. Boom, 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 boom. That's a lot to take in for a program like this. So as amazing and as powerful as this is, it is a lot. It's a lot to take in. It is definitely, and again, this is not a reflection of the program itself. I think this is a reflection of what it's like to have that limitation. This is really tough, and I think you would find that it would take some getting used to. However, I will tell you, I am so impressed that we have options like this available in Linux, because can you imagine someone having to spend, $1,000 or $2,000 on something comparable to this? eViacam's allowing folks access to this ability for free, and it's cross-platform, so it works on different operating systems. So it's not just Linux. You have it on Windows as well. So that's pretty cool. Doesn't require special hardware, works with anything with a webcam that's reasonably decent. I think anything Logitech probably qualifies in that department. That's pretty cool. And so long as you've set up your on-screen keyboard to work and auto start by itself, that's pretty compelling. Some things I would do differently, however, is I definitely would probably suggest coming up with a script for it so that if there's freezing, it senses that and restarts. And I don't know how you would do that specifically. Now, I do have a script available to just simply restart the program if it crashes, because it doesn't always restart on its own. And that's certainly useful. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know what the solution is to that. So, not sure. Outside of someone else with remote desktop to be there to assist you, that could be very challenging. And of course, you would have to have a means of contacting that person if you are in fact paralyzed and unable to, utilize a traditional telephone, and you'd have to have other communication devices set up for that. So this is pretty interesting. eViacam is pretty cool software. I really thrilled it's here, and I actually would love to hear what you guys think about this. Do you feel like this is something that's viable for you? If you wanted to use the computer, maybe you were in a car accident or inhibited some way where you can no longer use your fingers. Think about it. It can happen. It can happen to anybody. Would this work for you? Hit the comments. Let me know. I'd be interested in hearing about it. And in videos coming up, we're going to be looking at other software, including, assuming I can get it running, we're going to be looking at other accessibility software that actually dives into more the voice dictation / control factor. I'm looking at a couple different programs that look promising for Ubuntu Linux, and we're going to see how those work in an upcoming video. And as always, we're going to have For the Record coming up, and there will be distro reviews galore. Got lots of distros to take a look at. I'm pretty excited about that, and our regular schedule as well. So keep up on that, and if you want to contribute to this, support the Patreon. That's what keeps this stuff going. And we'll see you again next time. Bye, Aziz.